What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. More Dead Man's Hand faction reviews here as we work our way through the good. And by request, we're going a little bit out of order here because some folks did want to see a review of the Texas Rangers. That's one of the newer factions and a powerhouse faction it is. So let's jump right in. So at least half the gang must be armed with a pistol as their sole ranged weapon. Pretty standard stuff there. We see that with a lot of factions. Now, with the new mounted Kickstarter and mounted games being more prevalent in the new edition than previously, we do get a couple other tweaks here with the factions as well. So that's kind of why we're going to go through some of the OG factions as well. But in this one, if mounted characters are permitted, and again, the game's organized around a lot of scenes and like narrative play, but a lot of times we tend to, in our group at least, just kind of play heads-up games, so a little more on the competitive side. But nonetheless, if mounted characters are permitted, then any number of characters here actually can have a lasso, and it appears to be that there isn't a point cost for that. So if you go all mounted, everybody could have a lasso, and that's pretty thematic, so I like that. So they have two key special rules here. First one is sleep in the saddle. They don't suffer the -1 to hit when shooting from horseback, so hey, there's that too. So these guys really can be a menace as far as their mounted incarnations versus a lot of other factions, right? And then the other ability, hell, ain't I enough? Texas Rangers always count as having a friendly character within 15 centimeters for nerve tests. That's the sort of the buddy system. If you have guys close, you have essentially a bonus to your nerve tests. So these guys essentially are a one-man army in that sense as far as the nerve test buff. So let's get in here. We have 4 choices as usual. A captain who we have to take, the sergeant optional, at least 2 rangers, and up to 4 volunteers. And as you can see, pretty much the baseline equipment for all of them is pistol and knife. So if we're taking the captain, sergeant, maybe some volunteers, that's where we can get a lot of that pistol requirement as we saw above. It's really the rangers that give us any options at all as far as other weapons go. Captain's pretty standard here, so there's no like hand-to-hand bonuses in this faction as we saw with some of the others out there, but they're just a good strong shooty faction. So typical stats there for the leader, the captain. The sergeant is a little bit more the elite at shooting, slightly less nerve, and one less rep. One less rep, but also one less hit that they can take. Pretty standard stuff there. The Rangers are your bog standard guys, but 4 hits, 4 nerve, and no like penalties there. 2 rep apiece. And again, this is where we can get our choices as far as other guns. And then the volunteers are the dirt cheap 1-pointers, only 3 hits. Pretty overall not so great. Nerve and also a -1 shooting in hand-to-hand. And unfortunately, typically we see with the sort of the low-level guys is where we can park our shotgun users to sort of mitigate that, since the shotgun has a lot of bonuses up close, but not with these guys. Now, they do have the option of taking some repeaters as well, and again, we can kind of do some aiming and at least negate the shooting penalty if we can get the optimum range there. But let's focus on the Rangers, since that's where we get the options, the most of our options here. So up to 3 of them could have repeaters. So if we want that there, that's a good, solid choice there for some longer range action. And really, if we wanted to, this is kind of cool, up to 3 may have repeater, pistol, and knife. So really, they're just decked out with guns. And that's probably, going to be the default choice there. Might as well get 3 figures that can essentially do anything longer range all the way up to close range action. Only one can have a shotgun, and I would always say, never leave home without at least the 1 shotgun if you can. Just those up close bonuses, especially if you do need to go double barrel on somebody and get that +6, can just be devastating at the right time, assuming the dice cooperate. So, and the knife is just a good choice there for close combat as well. We'll see that in some of the other stats that are out there. But let's get into their cards, because here's where, again, a lot of the extra features will come for them and the sort of the unique flavor. So first up, at the Jack position, Tracker. Play at any time. Any single character may make an immediate move action. This places a move marker as normal. So it really lets us get around the 3 action limit per character or per figure. And, if we really need to just get a little bit more done in a given turn and we don't want to waste one of our 3 on a move, we can just get this out there, hopefully not get countered, get that extra move in that we need, and then maybe spend the other actions on something like an aim and a shoot or something like that. Or if we just need that one move, and then maybe we got a pistol guy that just wants to unload 3 shots in a row, this lets us get that 4th action to do that. So just a handy all-around card. More actions is always good. Queen, fierce reputation. Play when an opponent has to take a nerve test due to shooting. The test is automatically failed, and the character receives 2 additional under fire markers rather than 1. This can result in the character being taken out of action. So this is just an absolute deadly card, something to maybe trying to get out there as much as possible throughout the course of games as the deck gets shuffled and reused. So the fact that a lot of the cards out there will say like, well, this or that can't be what's used to like cause that final damage to a character. Oh no, this very much can. So, and just the fact that they automatically fail it is super brutal, and really, this puts most of the low level to regular guys in a dangerous spot. But then anybody who's maybe getting a little too aggressive with their elite character or their leader, being able to just bring that out there, and if the opponent doesn't have a queen of their own to counter it, that can be brutal. So this doesn't specify, doesn't work on leaders or anything like that. This is just anybody's a valid victim of this. So that is nasty. So yes, super good card there. All right, King Los Diablos Tejanos. Let's see what this is all about. Play this card at the beginning of the turn before any characters activate. All Texas Rangers get +2 hand-to-hand for the rest of the turn. Well, there you go. That is brutal. So, and if the opponent doesn't already know that card exists, and they again think of the Texas Rangers as just more, well, these guys are just your bog standard shooty faction. Oh no, hey, all of a sudden, boom, everybody is suddenly +2 in hand-to-hand. That could be a turn where you kind of then just maybe try to surprise the opponent and just start bum rushing their characters to get into hand-to-hand and start duking it out and hope the dice are with you. So that's very nasty. +2 across the board, and that even takes the volunteers from -1 to +1, so even they can scrap it up a little bit. So just another super powerful card for these guys. And then finally, let's see what the ace has with My Dying Breath. So play when one of your characters has been taken out of action by any means. That's very key there. Any means. This character can take an immediate shot with no negative modifiers. So even if you've already blazed away for the turn, no negative modifiers, and any single target within the line of sight, even if this target would normally be out of range. Wow. Positive modifiers apply where applicable. So that is crazy. So theoretically, if I'm reading this right, if you were mostly all the way across the board, you got line of sight even with a pistol shot, you could just take that one last, we'll call it the Hollywood shot here, and just get that extra pot shot in. So yeah, no negative modifiers, and even if it would normally be out of range, that is bonkers. Which something like with your dying breath on like the one guy with your shotgun maybe would be nasty, especially if it was still at close range. He's not going out, and hey, that's a free double barrel, the way this reads too. So pretty crazy. And theoretically, I guess, just reading it one more time, right? Even if it would normally be out of range. So I guess you could, like, again, movie shoot your shotgun shot as far across the board as you got line of sight to, if that was a further away shot. So pretty nasty card there as well. Overall then, these guys again can do just about everything. Everybody has at least a pistol and a knife, unless we take the one guy with the shotgun, but even then he's got a pretty clearly defined role. So these guys can just do a lot of things. Very strong. And then these cards also, again, played at the right times, will really mess with the opponent. So again, having a turn where everybody's just going to kick ass at close combat suddenly. Boom. We got that. We can get extra actions out of there, and then just the sort of the extra, we're just going to call this the extra damage card here at the queen spot, that Fierce Reputation one. That is just absolutely nasty. So, and really is going to force the opponent to alter their play a little bit too, and kind of respect once they've seen some of these in action. If they don't already know what these cards do so much, they're going to have to, if they have the queen in their hand, they might not be able to play their queen, just to respect the fact that you have that your queen card in your hand, unless it's out on the tabletop for initiative. So that's really going to alter the opponent's play too, once they've been at the receiving end of some of this for a while. So all in all, a fun faction. We've got ours that we still need to, I think, unbox and then get ready for play here as well for you guys. So we're trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done here for Dead Man's Hand over the next month or two. And we're going to start doing some more in-depth coverage with some how-tos and some actually in-store events and stuff that we're planning for our local shops, and just more Dead Man's Hand in general for you guys. But we're going to keep working our way through the good here, and try to get that done before the next book comes out here in, I think, February as well. Let us know, guys, if you've played the Texas Rangers so far, how you've kitted them out, and how you have fared in your games. Any factions give you trouble, or have you kind of steamrolled through most of your opposition? Hit us up in the comments, like and subscribe, and we'll have more Dead Man's Hand very soon. Thanks for watching.